Here we go. All righty. Cancer new moon. No, Cancer full moon. I got moon mind. It's a little flowy, watery. Okay. All right, we're good to go. So, Amalia, Natalio with Karmic Kindness, and Madelaine Parker.
Hello, everybody.
Here to bring you all the cosmic chat for the Cancer full moon in the sign. I already said that, and obviously Cancer, full moon in the sign of Cancer. It's going to happen on January 13th at 5:27 p.m. Eastern, which would be 2:27 p.m. I'm sorry, yes, 2:27 p.m. 3. Oh, good Lord.
I have it.
3:27 p.m. Pacific.
I have it at 2:26 Pacific.
Okay, there we go. Thank you for doing the math. Sorry. My brain is so filled with so many things right now. Everyone's going to have to bear with me to navigate the moon forecast today. 23 degrees, 59 minutes is where this is going to be in the sky. For those who follow that, I like having a sense of the degrees because there's certain numbers that are meaningful to people, certain degree points that you might have in your chart. So pay attention. I'll be showing the impact chart a little bit later too. A few things I want to mention out of the gate: the body connections for this Cancer full moon: stomach, ovaries, womb, vagina, breast, and lymph. So these areas of your body might be a little bit more activated or sore, or you might notice a little bit more like tenderness or something. Nothing to necessarily be concerned about, but just know that that is part of the story. I also want to mention the 3 current retrograde planets. So the numbers are lowering. We had a whole bunch a few months back, and now we've got Mars retrograding in Cancer, Jupiter retrograding in Gemini, and Uranus retrograding in the sign of Taurus. So, Cancer, the sign of Cancer is connected to, it's ruled by the moon. So this is a really powerful moon, in my opinion, because it's ruled by the moon. And it relates to home and family, ancestry. So for anyone right now that you have any sort of particularly mother issues, mother wounding, could relate to women in general, just pay attention to what might be highlighted for you during this full moon. There might be some information that helps you heal, helps you complete something that has been ongoing since the summer. We have some aspects, actually quite a few aspects to the moon this moon cycle. I'm sure Madelaine's going to go on into a deep dive of the entire chart, but I just want to touch on a few things. Obviously, the moon and the sun are opposing each other, as they are in every full moon. With the moon in Capricorn, a sign of more structure and discipline, ruled by Saturn, which is very masculine energetics. And then we have the moon in its ruling sign of Cancer, which is more feminine. It's finding a balance with yourself, a safe space for you to seek your own sense of self and understanding without looking outside of yourself, either outside to your family or outside to people that might view you as an authority or a master at something. It's like really just feeling that sense of self-sovereignty. The moon is also opposing Pluto. Well, okay. We all know by now that Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, it's typically not super comfy. So you may feel some deep emotions coming up during this moon cycle that really push you to make a change and confront any fear and resistance that you're experiencing. We also have Mars in on the action, but Mars is retrograde. So Madelaine, I know, is likely going to go on a deep dive on that. So I'm not going to say much about it other than just to mention it. We also have a trine, 2 trines actually, with Saturn and Neptune. So whenever you have a trine, it's a really nice aspect, typically speaking. So you might find yourself going into always this emotional connection, a time for practical stability. So if you find a deep sense of emotional connection and a deeper emotional understanding, then being able to create a plan for the long term, for the future, and being able to access deep subconscious desires. That's that Neptunian influence. And, you know, those deep subconscious desires that start to emerge, those are beautiful places to pay attention to, because they are likely showing you the path for the future, guiding you down a road that you might not have dared to go before. And then we have a sextile with Uranus, encouraging you to express yourself creatively, fearlessly, and you may feel an ease in following an emotional urge for something novel or different. So if you feel inspired to go, I don't know, roller skating, and you haven't gone roller skating in years, follow that urge and see where it leads you. And it might be some, you know, magical happening. Maybe you meet somebody that is, you know, a love interest, or maybe you realize that it really brings you joy. It really lights you up, and it's something you do on a regular basis, and you get more fit or whatever. It could lead you somewhere you don't always expect. And since we're here, I'm going to go ahead and just, Madelaine, if you don't mind, I'm going to share the impact chart, and then you can dive into the rest. So I love sharing this with you all so that you can see specifically where the, you know, we're looking at 18 to 28 degrees of the cardinal signs. So we have, hold on, there's something on my screen, so it's blocking the Cancer down here. So anyway, down here we have, so Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Virgo. So if you have any points or planets at 18 to 28 degrees of those signs, you are going to feel this pretty intensely, and there might be some discomfort around it, but all of that is leading you down a pathway that is going to complete something for you, or you're able to fine tune and tweak, and your emotions will be a big guide in that regard. So hopefully that helps everyone kind of get a visual of these different places in your own personal natal chart. I think that's it for me. I'll share the flower card in a little bit, but Madelaine, I'm going to let you take it away.
All right. So yes, this is a Cancer full moon. It's basically hitting on the part of the sky that is very auspicious, very shall we say, abundant. It is the nurture. It's the part of the sky that's where things come back again. It's a nakshatra called Purnavasu, which is about returning to the light, things coming home again after a storm. So it's about this is about finally making it back, something from the past coming back again, the good returning. This is a very positive, very auspicious. It is a Jupiter ruled new moon, even a full moon, even though it is in Cancer, so it's ruled by the moon, but in the nakshatra, it's a Jupiter nakshatra, which means it's good for the people. There's wisdom. So it's like wisdom gained from challenges, wisdom gained from going on a difficult journey, going through a storm. And now we've come through it and we have wisdom. It's like in tarot, it's the star card after the tower card. And usually when there's a tower, which is the storm, which is the destruction of something and the fall down of something, then there's some sort of, and you feel like everything is gone, all hope is gone. Then there's this, something happens where hope, something of optimism sort of springs back up in a really powerful way as a sort of polarity to that energy. So yeah, so it is, and it is about, it's the mother. So it represents a part of the sky that is about the mother of all gods, the deity, the mother deity, which is about restoration, coming back to life through wisdom or nurturing. So it's like something from our past comes back and we bring it back to life, and we've learned something about it. We see that it's back to being good again, and it's back to something coming back that we've lost, and that it's sort of like a renewed auspicious, renewed abundance, renewed a life in a way, with all of that in that nurturing energy of restoring something back into its former glory, back into its full abundant state. It's about, that's why it's the Cancer, it's a nurture. And it is Cancer. So whenever we have full moons in Cancer, it is, so it's about the Cancer Capricorn polarity. We've got the sun in Capricorn. So what we're looking at is the polarity. You work really, really hard, you can afford a better house. And then if you have a really, really stable home life, emotionally stable life, you're more stable and you can work harder. Like, so there's this polarity going on with the Capricorn Cancer polarity that's going to find a joyful middle ground around the two issues. So now the really important thing to talk about is when we're leaving Kali Yuga, we're about to change eras. Everybody's lives are about to change radically here. When Neptune is going to leave Pisces, we're going to be at the end of the Piscean era, fully into the Aquarian era, end of Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga is the worship of false gods, the worship of the material plane rather than the spiritual. It was the loss of the spirit, of true spiritual path, the true spirituality, as it were. And so now we're going to be back in that. And Neptune is moving into Aries, which is spiritual leadership. In times of great change, there's a call for the nodes are going to move into Pisces. So we're just going to get this surge of spirituality, this surge of people waking up to how important spirituality is. We're going to, during times of great unrest and instability, we have need for a lot of spiritual guidance, spiritual teachers and astrologers. But everybody's going to sort of wake up to the fact that we've been worshiping a material. And now we're going to wake up and we're going to balance more into the ethereal, because the ethereal, as above, so below, is actually our source of abundance, our relationship with the unseen energies and the unseen forces, because those are the energies that give us life. Those are the life force. So we're going to wake up. We're waking up to that's the source of our abundance, not slave laboring. Our relationship with the higher realm is the light. So this is this full moon happening in Purnavasu, which is at the end degree of this nakshatra, which is Cancer, and it is about nurturing back, something coming back to life, back to light, back to life, like a plant sprouting back into its leaves, coming back after it has gone through a fire or a storm, and then you get this sort of like the power of life is through this nurturing, through love, through caring, through all these empathic. It's like that's the part of manifestation that it's like watering the plant. It's like nurturing something back to life, giving it love and care and compassion and bringing back. That is the light. So that's what this full moon is about. And then it's about, because of the spiritual shift that's happening, where people are going to wake up and start walking in more spiritual paths and discovering spirituality for themselves. Because in the age of Aquarius, it's about your own personal religion. You design your religion. You take a collection of spiritual practices, or if you believe in astrology, or if you like tarot, if you like I Ching or whatever, and you make your own little thing. But what you're going to have is your own spiritual practices and ways to connect and commune. And the higher dimension is wanting to work with us, the 5D. So working with angels and the other dimensions and psychic abilities. Anyway, long story short, we're shifting to a period of spiritual balance with the material world. And so we've got the North Node going into Pisces. When I had the North Node moved on to my MC, that's when I started learning tarot. I stopped working in the arts and things. And then the time it flipped, I had the North Node on my Uranus opposite my MC, because it's 10 degrees Uranus. I started learning astrology, and Uranus is astrology. So it's like, that's what's happening for everybody. You're stepping into your soul calling. It may not necessarily be something like tarot or whatever. It might be to run a business, a healing center or something, but everybody's stepping into a calling and a purpose that is for improvement of our world in some way, right? So we're going to have a very powerful year ahead, where we're going to see rapid changings. Uranus is going to move into Gemini. I think we're going to see free energy. I think we're going to see we're going to see massive energy development, communications, media, technologies, things just like booming, communication, knowledge. Uranus is moving there into Gemini. Jupiter is going to move into Cancer, super abundant energy. Then we've got Pluto is already in Aquarius, and then we're going to have Neptune move into Aries. conjoined Saturn. So we've got, and the nodes. So there's this buildup of big shifts. And this is all the Neptune and Saturn are joining the sky at the part of letting go, Revati Nakshatra, where we're releasing, diffusing, completely letting things go, letting go old beliefs. So we're really, and I did a read for someone today where we're really like flipping their entire philosophy is just changing really quickly, you know. So yeah, so we're going to see a lot of shifts in people waking up to the fact that we were robbed of our power by being robbed of spirituality, by not, our abundance was, because during the dark ages it's not spiritual, so that drops the abundance. So we wake up to seeing that our energy frequency, our spirituality, which is really just about connecting with the unseen forces to create harmony and guidance, to a better life. And so we wake up to that part of being a very important factor in having an abundant world. That's why it's dropped.
So
Go
one
ahead.
thing I wanted to highlight too
Sure.
that you touched in on, Madelaine, was all of these planets that are moving direct and changing signs. And in 2025, if you think about this, and these are outer planets that are changing signs.
Yep.
And we may have talked about this in other cosmic chats, but for those who are tuning
Yeah.
in now, maybe for the first time, this is significant because this
Very.
has not happened in our lifetimes, maybe even our parents' lifetimes. And so this is a shift of
Era.
massive proportions for all of us. Now, is it going to be one of those things where it's like we wake up one day and it's immediate? No, like with anything, there's this gradual change, but we're already feeling it. We're already experiencing the change that's taking place. And with these planets changing, not just changing signs, but with Neptune and Saturn going into Aries, which is the start of the zodiac,
Yeah.
that is powerful, and really kind of exciting.
It
Because
is.
it's a whole new.
It's literally mass ascension. Literally, we're looking at mass ascension. That's what we're looking at.
I haven't heard anyone say it in that with those words. Mass ascension. I guess it's
collective ascension.
And there are people that aren't going to
necessarily
come along.
You're going to be surprised. More people than you think. A lot of people say that, but you can flip your perception really quick.
That's true.
And all you have to do is see some truths, and truths are coming out. So, I think it's going to be very positive times ahead, despite maybe a few bumps. I don't know if we're going to have World War III or whatever. I don't know. I haven't looked into that, but on the whole, we're really entering very abundant year, very auspicious. So, and everybody wants to have very sacred thinking, positive thoughts, because you're thinking it, we're going to manifest really fast what we think. So you got to keep very positive thinking, or shall we say wisdom thinking, the truth, like that's, it's the best thing.
So hey, Madelaine, you have on here full moon Cancer 115, but you have the chart set on the right date of the
yeah, don't worry about.
Yeah, so everybody just ignore that. It's actually the full moon is on the 13th, not the 15th.
Okay, yes, that's right. That's right. Yes, ignore that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Anyway, so let's talk about that right now. So yeah, we're going to have Mars up there in retrograde. So Mars in retrograde, we're going in, we're doing some deep healing. Things come up that are unresolved, issues unresolved, but also it is also finding what we want and what we desire on a sort of emotional level, security, because Mars Cancer wants security and stability and long-term feeling safe and home. So it's like this full moon is about returning home, returning back again, coming from a journey of storm and coming home, and what feels secure and stable. What's our true center home? Who is our home? We're going to go through that through all the 12 signs, but basically Mars being there now with a full moon, you're going to have very good chance, depending on how it aspects your charts, you're going to have emotional outbursts. I would stay home at night, not forever, but with Pluto there, you might get some people that are really just lose it and get violent. And if you have a propensity for that, it could happen, but at that time, we have had some rather scary things happen. So on Pluto, Mars, so you're on this full moon, there's emotional things come to boil. If you've been not dealing with something and you're upset, it's going to come up and you're not going to be, Mars cannot hold back anger. Mars debilitated Cancer can't control its anger. A strong Mars in Capricorn, I have Mars Capricorn, I very seldom get angry. We have a very strong, so weak, imagine that, like boom, people are going to lose it. If you have a weak Mars in your chart, but anyway, the propensity is there. So that's why it's good to take this time to be reflective on your emotions, because if they do come up, it is for a reason, so that they can be healed, resolved, cleared out of the way for when we enter into the new era. And because some of these energies are lower density, they need to be released so that there can be more abundance. This is a very abundant full moon, wants to bring something very abundant in. So if you have a lower density emotional thing that blocks abundance, it's going to pop up. So it's clear, transformed. And then you've got, we're starting a whole new era. So this full moon brings us some sort of auspicious security towards our abundant future and towards the new era. So whatever it brings, yeah. So this full moon brings us a culmination, and we'll go through all the houses of something that now stabilizes you and brings you security for this long haul. Sun in Capricorn, still a Capricorn energy with that sun, but now with and then we've got all these planets in Pisces. So where the soul and the spirit is taking over the message. People, I did a read earlier where the husband just can't work the job that he's working anymore. His soul is just dying there. There's a point where the soul just gets too loud if you're going against it, and it just is keeping you up at night. It's yelling at you. It's like you've got to change. Well, that's what's happening, because we're having this kite when all these planets hit Neptune, and I won't change this, but when in March and February, we're going to get this major kite pointing to that Neptune, where we're going to be letting really major things go in our lives, letting stuff, and there is a flow of ease when we clear karma and we let go, we release, we forgive, clear our baggage. So that's what this full moon is helping, because it's making a very positive angle to that. By the way, it's making a trine to Neptune, which is all about healing this lower frequency toxicity. Venus is in exaltation in Pisces. It's like, oh, it's all about our inner world, our soul's desire, divine love, divine mission. This is all about soul contracts coming together, divine mates coming together. So that's the North Node, Neptune, soul purpose, soul contract. So people are dropping their jobs if they're not in alignment, if it's not fulfilling, if it doesn't make you happy. We're changing that whole mentality that you have to do things just to create security when it's not in alignment. Really, the thing that creates security is that you're in alignment with what you're doing and you're doing the true you. That's why in the last golden era, they wrote on the Temple of Delphi, no, nosce ti something, know thyself is what it means. And so we're going to be with all these planets in Pisces. We're very tuned in and daydreamy, and like you were having problems focusing, like we're just really dreamy because we're getting downloads, we're getting guided, our soul's speaking loud. Our soul doesn't want to get distracted from cluttery sound. He has to hear our soul right now. And then we're going to really step into the calling, all that North Node and Neptune, which is really about soul contracts with divine maze, with Venus there. I mean, and this is how we change the world. This is going to be how the world changes through us. And this is sort of like we're entering into the age of Aquarius, where we're liberated, walking our own path. So this is the sort of this is us on that path, basically. So this full moon either brings us, to recap it, clearing of lower frequency wounding energies that need to come up to be healed and worked out and then resolved and let go. Could blow up or could come out just in a cry, or not, or just a conversation, emotional, very emotional full moon. We go home, we find home within ourselves in whatever area Cancer is. We find our home, we're back again. We retrieve something from the past that didn't work, we failed at, we lost, we now get. If you've been struggling, trying to find a home, trying to find where you live, your favorite place from the past that fell through now comes through back again. You can have that place again. It comes back, something like that. The light is restored here. And and where something is nurtured back to life again. So that's kind of it, really.
I love your description of everything for
Did
this
you-
moon. And it's interesting because, you know, we're not quite to the moon yet. We're about a week away, a little less than a week away. But we always feel the energies beforehand, and sometimes they'll last even longer. And you know, some emotional stuff came up for me today and around my kids. My kids were visiting and they left, and I felt very sad when they left. And a lot of stuff started to come up. And I think that's why I'm a little kind of out of it to, you know, right now, because I'm just in that state of processing the emotional landscape that emerged. And there's a lot more I could say on that, but
Yeah,
you know, so for
very
everyone,
Mars Cancer, excellent example of that.
yes, it really is.
Control it. You cannot control it. Like it overwhelms you.
Yes, it did. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely did. So, you know, I guess kind of like the one of the key pieces of this I would just love to share with people is if something does come up, allow it the space to flow. Just, you know, normally I'm like, I might have a little cry and then it's like, I got stuff to do. But this, I was just in it. Like you said, there was nothing you could do other than just be in it and with it and just let it be there. If I had a bathtub here, I probably would have gotten in the bath and done an Epsom salt bath with some
Right,
lovely
right.
oils, maybe
Yeah.
some flowers in the water, and that would have been delightful. It's very nourishing and nurturing. And since this is a
Yeah.
Cancerian full moon, that might be a really, you know, nurturing thing for you to do
Yes.
to take care of yourself. I
Yeah.
don't have a bathtub, so I wasn't able to do that, but just an
Gotta get
idea.
a bathtub.
What did you
Gotta
say?
have, gotta have a bathtub.
My next house will have a bathtub.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. All right, before we jump into the 12 signs, I want to show everyone the card. So this is the card for this Cancer full moon. When it first popped out, I was a little bit like, what? I don't really get it, but I really feel like this epitomizes the Mars energy that we're likely experiencing with
Oh,
this full
yeah.
moon. Look at this.
Wow.
There's a lot. This is a fire star orchid. And Madelaine, you mentioned this moon has a bit to do with the
Jupiter.
star
Oh,
card.
yep, yep,
So
yep.
this is a fire star orchid. It's why it's like fearless creativity in whatever form that means for you, innovation, which we have that Uranian aspect also to this moon, and seeing beyond what you've seen thus far. I really love that concept and idea with this moon cycle. You know, Cancer, it has to do with home and ancestry and, you know, the things that we've done across generations, and now maybe doing something different, seeing a different path. And if you look at this to me, it almost feels kind of like a hug in a way, or like a family, like this little grouping, and they're all around this bright energy, this like energy that's leading us and taking us to a whole new dimension of experience. It doesn't show as clearly as if you were looking at the card on the screen, but it's just, I don't know, there's something about it that reminds me of family,
Interesting.
connection,
I agree.
togetherness.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You have
And
any other thoughts you want to add?
well, maybe collaborative, sort of coming together for a single purpose, like that's very Age of Aquarius, or collective people coming together to bring a creative solution or creative, you know, um, forward projects or forward motion or solutions.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too. There's a lot happening here, so it's kind of
Yeah.
fun. All right.
All right.
So
So we're going to do all the 12 signs now. Oh my gosh, I always forget this. How do I forget this? The deck.
oh yes, for the
Okay.
without these, Madelaine cannot do
I
her
know it takes,
magical timestamps.
yeah, it just
I know
takes,
people are loving.
I know. Sorry, guys. I'll be right there with the Aries. It does help. It really helps. Okay, Aries. So Aries this is going to be in your fourth house. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Aries, if mostly to your ascendant, is going to be in your fourth house. And in your fourth house, that's coming home again, finding your home, finding your family. I would think Aries have you know, they've been dealing with karma more in their 10th, but but there's some sort of like discovery of where home is. And it's possible you literally, a home property real estate comes back from the past, or you acquire a real estate property here. This is a very auspicious, abundant full moon, so you could acquire. Oh, and I didn't really go into all the aspects. I was supposed to do that. How did I get distracted from that? But anyway, we've got these, this full moon is making a very positive aspect to Uranus. So it's got a, hang on a minute. Yep. So this full moon, let me get it back. So this full moon's got a very positive quality to Uranus in it. And, um, it's at 20, Mars is also making a nice positive aspect trying to Uranus and the nodes. So it's like this full moon brings us a reward, an opportunity that sends us on a really abundant path, that brings us a reward. Now, it can be that, like, something, you get a house or offered a property or a place to live that somebody just gives you and donates to you, or says, hey, you can live here for a while, house it for a while, for like a year, that kind of thing, like something lucky. And then you get to save money that whole year, you don't have to pay, and then you can buy something. Something that shows up in this full moon brings you auspicious, abundant opportunity or money around, around living and home, family. You could get married, you could get pregnant, you could start a family, you could move, of course. But ultimately, this is to be settled. This is a long-term security experience. And you discover where, because of that Mars rules you and it's in retrograde, you know where you really want to live, you know who you want to live with, you know who your family is. It's almost like this clarity just comes flying in, and that's it. Like, you get it. Go ahead.
Clarity comes flying in. That's
Yeah.
what we need, Aries. Okay, so for Aries, we have the peony. This is like this to me, I don't know. Whenever I think of Aries, I think of fire and very like more like this, like take charge kind of rah. And this is the opposite of that. This is so Cancerian. It feels very soft and nurturing, and almost like you could just like snuggle into the middle of the flower and just take a little rest, and it feels really really nice.
Very
The
soft.
peony is a flower that magnetizes things to you. So let's just say you are looking for a new home. It'll be, the energy for magnetizing that to you is there. It's also a flower of attracting abundance. Gratitude also for the beauty in life, and a feeling of contentment. So whatever is showing up in your life right now, Aries, know that maybe something you've been striving for, working towards, now is the time that you are going to feel that kind of completion energy that will lead potentially to a feeling of contentment. That's one of my favorite feelings. You feel content. It's like everything is great, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, I've tried, my program started acting out. I'm like trying to figure it out. Sorry to be
Oh,
distracted.
is it better?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I fixed it. I got a new laptop and a new program. But yes, that card is so soft for Aries. It's like, a softer, it's like coming from, like you said, not pushy, that's beautiful for
Yeah.
Aries.
It
Love
does.
it.
That feels really nice for them.
Nice energy. Yep.
Yeah.
So then we're going to do Taurus. So Taurus, okay, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. And let me get Taurus on the ascendant here. So that would make it be, let me get that, Taurus. So that's going to be, sorry guys, something's messed up, but I'm just going to have to wing it. So Aries was in your fourth. So Taurus is going to be in your 1, 2, third house. Yes, third house. So Taurus with your third house. So you could decide to run a business from home. You feel really called to start a new business in healing practices, because you're starting to follow more your calling. Everyone's stepping more into their soul's desire, to their truth of who they are. A lot of Taurus are healers and medicine people. So you might start a business where you're gardening or making things at home. What else? So you're going to do, you've got, you're going to be more, shall we say, you, of all people, may have communication outbursts big time because it's in your third house of communication. You may also become really aware of a pattern of thinking that's bringing you negativity in your life. Could be around siblings. Something is resolved, emotional issues resolved maybe with a sibling, where you, and now your family feels restored again, with sibling, but there's something in your thinking or in your mentality that's shifting, that's maybe been causing some of the problems. You know, Capricorn over your ninth house, possible rigid sort of opinions and thoughts. But so there's sort of a transformation occurring and back in light again, and about something that you think or believe, like back and feeling optimistic, and that really does raise your vibrations again about relations or about your neighborhood, um, communication, media, new moon, a full moon media, you decide to start a website, um, a writing project, if it's your calling and purpose, or something communication comes in on this full moon that sets you free in some way, or supports you to do your mission. So go ahead. Or calling.
It's so funny when you were talking about um, communication. The wild buckwheat wanted to be seen, and this flower has a lot to do with communication and increasing your efficiency in the way that you communicate. This obliterates inner and outer obstacles so that you can spread your message and bring things into harmony. So I really, and this also feels very much, this feels like it's sending a message. It feels like it's trying to communicate something, get your attention. Like this is a thing. And maybe for, anyone with a sun, moon, or rising in Taurus, maybe there is something that they have in their inner world has been blocking them. They haven't seen it.
Yeah.
They have refused to see it. And this Cancer full moon shines a light on that. And they have the opportunity, if they choose, to take a look at that and then be able to communicate something from that new knowledge or wisdom. So the wild buckwheat, I feel like
this is about the wisdom after the storm. And there's we've learned some wisdom through what we've been through. So yes, and it's about communication perhaps for Taurus.
Yeah.
And that is a light, that's air energy, which is sword, which is light energy, which is communication. Very aligned card.
It is. It really is. I'm enjoying looking at it on the screen. It's like so cute.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay, so now Gemini.
Gemini.
Gemini, we're going to have this in your second house. So there's a new income coming in, a full moon income. So, it doesn't have to be a talent or an art. It can just be a new way of making money, a work. It's a work house. So it can be any new job, any new way of making money comes in, a new way for you to feed yourself. The moon is the ruler of your second house. So a full moon there in its own sign. By the way, a moon in the moon is, like you said, a positive lunation as far as just it being effective and it having impact. And it's a very positive one. So some sort of in the light return way of making money that you failed at from the past comes back that you can do now and is very auspicious. It's just it and you're going to nurture this new way of income. I had a full moon in my second house is when I started working professionally as a tarot reader. Like I started actually literally making money doing it. And so you literally start making money and it's a way that fits you. Let me look at what else here in the Gemini house there. So Mars is in your second house in retrograde. So you're already reflecting on how you want to make your money, or what's a way for you to make money that you desire, that's emotionally fulfilling for you, for that you can do for the long haul. Remember, we're making changes right now that's going to last for 25 to 30 years, pretty much. New beginnings, a whole new chapter is coming in. So but a reinvigoration and a return to light and nurturing a new way of making money that is very fulfilling, that makes you happy. Could be in the healing arts, it could be music, could be talent, could be creativity. What'd you get?
We have the mandevilla, which is such a playful flower. When I look at this, it just, I don't know, it's bright and cheerful and playful. So for Gemini, this flower is one that allows you the opportunity to let go of something you've been potentially holding on to that might be keeping you from stepping on a path that's really truly aligned for you. So the way I interpreted it based on what's happening in the sky is, perhaps there's another option for you to make money, another job, another something, but in order for that one to come in, you have to let go of the current one you have. So this is dissolves attachments is also another key element of the mandevilla. So if you have an attachment to something, if you let it go, then there's the opportunity for something else to come in for you. And it also encourages us to accept where we might be. And that could also be part of the allowing of something new to come in, a feeling of acceptance, a feeling of non-attachment, not being attached to a specific outcome, creating space for something new. And I would go so far as to say a great way to do that is through a little bit of play and a little frivolity. I don't know why that word is coming up for Gemini. Maybe they're in a state of a little bit too much seriousness around something in their life. Just
Well, they have Saturn in their 10th house.
ah,
So that
okay,
can make you kind of heavy and serious about work.
yeah,
That does look like the nodes of fate. The Wheel of Fortune hits me where it's turning, their fate is turning,
yeah.
and are literally going to have the nodes shift into their 10th house in the sign of Pisces. So they are going to change. Something's going to change about their career. It's an angular house. So their destiny is going to totally shift in the form of a career and something more spiritual, soulful,
Mm.
fulfillment of feeling like you're on your true dharma.
Oh, I can think
True
of a couple
path.
Geminis that would be very exciting for.
Yeah.
All
All
right,
right. Now
now
let's Cancer.
Cancer.
So yeah, so you're going to have Mars on your first house, which is in retrograde. So a lot of soul searching about who you are, who you want to be, how you want to act out in the world, or reevaluating. And but again, you want to be careful there with that Mars in your first house. You can get into unintended argument without meaning. It can just pop out like, you don't want to, but it just to let you know that's why. So if you have any unresolved, unsaid things, they may just come out. You may as well get them out now. So, so for Cancer, did I show the card? I hope I did. Did I show the card? Because I often forget Cancer.
I
I
think
didn't. show the
I
card.
think I think we forgot.
I see. I forgot. Wow.
Yeah.
Cancer. So yeah, so you're gonna have this full moon in your first house. So sort of a new confidence, a new identity comes out, a new version of family. You materialize if you've been on a journey where you just I would like to materialize a home. I'd like a home with a fireplace and a tub. So you could manifest a new home, a new family, a new living environment completely. You could get pregnant, become a mother. What else? A version. So this is a version of you that you lost comes back, perhaps doing something with Saturn there in your ninth house. Maybe I start teaching again. I'm definitely working on that. I'm trying to figure out exactly how to do it, how to structure it with Saturn there in Pisces in my ninth house, making it not so clear. But so restoring for cancers and something that they didn't do before comes back, reinvigoration, it comes back to life again. Um, I think I'm going to do the classes about the 22 paths of the major arcanas, the hero's journey. That sort of maybe is what I'm going to do. So it's like a spiritual purpose, calling kind of a thing. And so what else? Full moon, your identity changes. You usually have a different look appears, and but a full moon, everything we said about Cancer, about this full moon applies to Cancer, and they're going to have, but again, they're going to do some deep clearing. Emotional baggage is coming up, emotional stuff coming up. Be careful not to get in conflicts with father, Mars or man.
You might need to get out of there, Madelaine.
So far, it's fine. But yes, exactly. I have to be careful.
Yeah.
So that's for Cancer.
Oh, there was something when you were speaking earlier, and I hadn't this something came through, and I meant to write
Yeah.
it down, but I was writing down something else about the flower. I was just trying to see if it would come back.
Well,
Um, it's not. Barb is with us. She said hello in the
hi,
and
Barb.
is she Cancer? Does she have Cancer in her chart? No.
Libra. A lot of Libra. She's got
Libra. Okay. Okay. So we'll have to keep her in mind as we're going along
yes.
here.
Yes.
All right. So we have the papaya flower for Cancer. And I mean, what a sweet little flower this one is, this papaya flower. This is a flower of gentleness. There can be a power in gentleness. It's a flower of receptivity. So it's and collaboration. So for any Cancerians out there, this is a time for the potential for collaboration or working together to move towards a specific goal. And it could be a goal that's beneficial to you. It really has a lot to do with who you are, balancing the masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. Like, so Madelaine, for you, I kind of like what you were talking about before about the classes. It's like that is a collaborative thing because you need the students to come to teach
Right.
too.
Right. Right.
And then you're balancing the receptive information and then sharing it, which
Mm-hmm.
is more of the masculine energy. And that's going to really change fundamentally in a lot of ways, like who you are, how people are seeing you in the world. I mean, that's not really so much first house, but still
Right.
does have to do with you. Um,
Yeah.
so really just a beautiful, gentle, sweet flower, I'm sorry, the papaya flower. Did I say the
I
date
mean,
palm flower? It's the papaya flower. I'm sorry, my fault.
yeah.
It looks a
I
lot
mean,
like the date palm flower.
that just looks like the flower is home.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
I may find my home where I'm going to live for a while. That would be great.
Yeah, oh, I know, you
Looks
and
to
me
me like
both.
that flower, like the color of the flower and the background of the flower, they're sort of the same. So it just looks like the flower is at home now. It's found its home. It's stabilizing, security base.
Oh, that sounds so nice. I like the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Okay.
For each
Eclipse
of
in
us,
my
that or
fourth
something
house.
better.
I had that Libra eclipse in my fourth house, and eclipses take 6 months. It happened in October. So by 6 months, I'll probably be moved.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah. So this full moon is all part of these cardinal lunations and eclipses. They're all related. They're all moving us together. Leo,
Leo.
very creative, charismatic Leos, leaders. Um, for Leo, let's get the chart back up. I don't know what I was thinking here. We're going to go to Leo here, and this full moon is going to be in your 12th house. So this is definitely emotional clearing, energy, baggage, issues with mother. Did we not talk about that earlier? Yep. I wonder my Leo sun may come at me with some major. Oh, I'm not, it's fine. But yeah, so we're going to get maybe some outbursts and emotional, but mostly healing a karmic pattern of not being a mother to yourself, because that's Leo. What happens a lot of times, people have an expectation of their mothers or the mother energy to nurture them, and the mother failed them. So Cancer can be where we have to learn how to nurture ourselves. So if we have a full moon there, we're clearing emotional baggage that's like where we don't want to bring with us to this new era. There's emotional baggage of the mother where you're blaming your mother for not nurturing you enough, whereas you're going to learn, this is a way that I need to learn how to nurture myself, and I need to show up and be a mother to myself the way my mother. In fact, the reason she didn't mother me there was so that I would learn to do it for myself. So that's the kind of full moon. So then you get really buoyant. You feel back in the light again. You feel clear. This relationship is clean slate. This is all about a clean slate, sort of full moon, like clearing the slate. So then you're cleared of this mother thing, and the mother holds us back. Mother energy can not clearing karma with mother can hold us back from being shining. We don't want to outshine our mothers. There's some strange thing that happens with mother and daughter where you're sort of somewhat measured. You don't want to outshine your mother. I don't know why we don't, because we don't want to. We love them. So anyway, long story short, Leo is going to clear some sort of oppressed energy from mother and be out of the box about who they are and not let but above all find that they abandon themselves or self-destruct themselves or something like that, where they're not nurturing of the self, and then you start turning in and doing that and taking really good care of yourself, nurturing, and that's your karma. Like that's a karma, shall we say, a medicine for that full moon for the Leo. And then they become, the prideful Leo, the Leo on the rock, healed. So there's,
Well, this flower could not be any more perfect.
oh,
I just
no
cannot.
way. It's not the horrible
It's
flowers. Oh,
so
no, it's
perfect.
fancy.
Okay. This is the fireweed. So we've got a
Wow.
fire. It doesn't look fiery, but it's called fireweed. It is telling us it's time to forgive someone now.
Wow, interesting.
Hello, talking about any mother wounds that we have and the recovery from whatever experiences that we had within those relationships that created an atmosphere for forgiveness. It reminds us that it gives us that feeling that love is all around us, heals the heart by dissolving emotions around experiences. So if you think about your issues we have with our moms, and if you are a mom, I would also say take a look at how you mothered your children, because it's a generational link oftentimes. And it also strengthens our capacity to love. So this very much has to do with love and the heart, very Leo type of energy, but this is a softer version of it. It's not like that, like fiery Leo that could burn, or with the sun. It's like this just feels soft again. It's
Yeah,
that.
I want to say the word healed. Like it's a healed heart, or the healed, that's a very big healing full moon, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the inside is now light.
yeah, it's really lovely. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yes.
these flowers are just uh
They are. I love that
going.
that deck, we still don't even, as long as we've been doing that, we still haven't seen the full deck. We still
No,
see cards we haven't seen. Like,
quite a few.
that's
Yeah.
a really pretty card. Yeah. Um,
Oh, very
so
cool. All right, so
yeah,
shall we move on to Virgo?
go Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. So you guys have this full moon in your 11th house. Very lucky, auspicious full moon for Virgo. Oh my gosh. The 11th house is the house of wins and gains and luck. And this is a very, very auspicious, positive full moon of something coming back. Maybe a social media thing comes back, or a tribe group. You come back to an old tribe from before you've lost touch with, friends, or you get back onto social media, on some sort of a project, um, or home, family, tribe. Your true family tribe comes in. What else could it be? A full moon like that, a lucky, I guess, I mean, you could meet a person that is romantic, because this could be creating a family, like a home and family. An older sibling maybe gives you a house. You could get it's about a gain, some kind of a gain, auspicious win. So an older sibling could give you something, of worth. Um, what else could that be for Virgo with that Cancer full moon? Where's Uranus? Travel, suddenly traveling? You could move, travel, to a new tribe, new place. In general, a full moon, so you could really heal some sort of issue around an emotional issue with a certain family or sibling, and your tribe could show up, but you really heal some sort of relationship with a past tribe or a past group of friends, and you're back to friends with them again, and you step up and be sort of a healer, but there's a lot of healing amongst tribe friends groups that then puts you into a very home family, your true tribe, very supportive, financially abundant, word of mouth, some sort of a situation comes your way through word of mouth that's really, really auspicious. All of that.
All of it.
All of that.
Okay, so we have the white magnolia. Let me see if I can tip it so the light, you can see the nuances of this particular flower. So the white magnolia reminds you that you are divine and it connects with spiritual fulfillment. And Madelaine, you've been talking about that
Yeah.
throughout this
Sound like a broken
reading.
record. Yeah.
And it awakens the highest aspirations in Virgos. So, Virgos are very practical, they're very pragmatic, they're very organized, and this might allow them to really see beyond for themselves what is available for them. And this flower even it's an opening to all of the spiritual possibilities. So maybe they've been looking only at this one segment of what their interests are, and now they're widening their scope and they're able to see more. And this is also alerting them that something is changing in their life in a big way. So whatever that means. So if any Virgos are watching this, when I said that, what was the first thing that you thought about? What was the first thing that dropped in? That will likely give you a hint as to an area of focus if you don't already know. So the white magnolia.
Well, that's interesting because social media is like getting out there in the world, being seen, public, and that's like bright light out there in the world,
Yes.
Virgo being more, oh my gosh, my son is just driving me nuts here. Hang on. Um, yeah, like this sort of being a light, coming out social media, light worker, all that kind of stuff. That's
Yeah,
like house, very
it
much
is.
so.
It's like, look at me, I'm here,
Yeah,
because they do tend to be a little more
star
reserved.
card. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay.
Right.
Libra.
So let's do Libra, Libra, Libra.
Barb, are you still with us? Let's see what we got going on.
Sorry, I shouldn't have, I should have let you ask Barb her sign. I don't know if it's,
Oh, hang on. Let me go and see if she commented.
yeah.
Well, okay. So hang on. We've got, all right, hang on. I'm sorry. Sorry, folks. I disappeared here. I'm back. Crabby Cancer says, hi, ladies. I'm not sure who that is. Jessica Hart. Yes, definitely have deep emotions and thoughts. Like, I'm wondering what the heck is in store for me. I hate the not knowing. Girl, you and the rest of us. It's like the not knowing is challenging. I'm playing with the idea of I don't know if you like surprises. I do like surprises. I do like the novelty of new experiences. So if you can just tweak the energy a little bit to the unknown is the potential for really fun surprises. And even the not so fun surprises could lead to something really magical and amazing. So just, I don't know. I sometimes have to play little games with myself. And then Jackie Hudeberg, I guess, I don't know if it's
Yep.
Says, I was just trying to decide if I wanted to use last names or not, but they're already here.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies. Virgo over here, Cap rising, trusting the process and allowing God to guide me through all the changes, practicing deep surrender in all that I do. Beautiful, beautiful, Jackie. So I'm curious if you're still with us. Did the Virgo sound, the Virgo reading, did that resonate with you and kind of where you are? And, what was your takeaway from that? So, okay, I'll be back to the chat in a minute. I'm hopping back over.
This is why we do astrology and tarot and the predictive sciences and the cycle checking, so that we do know where we're headed and we do know what's going on and we can feel good about that, because it absolutely helps us feel higher vibrations. That's why I do it. It's so that I know what's happening and then I feel great about it, because it's usually where things are getting better. Sometimes there's tough things, but we just know that's a bump to be cleared.
Well, and that's so true, Madelaine. That's a really good point, because I look at astrology and human design and different transits through different systems, and even the gene keys, looking at these different things. However, they're kind of giving a broad idea. We don't necessarily know exactly how they're going to play out, and sometimes it doesn't play out the way we think, which then can be kind of tricky too. So it's when we look back, it's easy to see, but sometimes it's not so easy to see in the moment, even with these prescriptive sort of what I call spiritual sciences.
Yeah.
It's just living our lives, and that's part of the journey and the experience, even if it's uncomfortable, which it often is, but super fun too. Okay, Libra.
So Libra is going to have this in their 10th house. And so there's a new something from career that didn't work out, or a job idea, or retiring. You could have wanted to retire. Now you can retire. Full moon in the 10th house, you get to retire. Or you get married, you get a new full moon, you reveal your status that you're now engaged. You could get a promotion, a job. You could start to work at home. You've been wanting to work at home, and now you get to work at home. You get to bring your work to the home. It's something from the past, a job from the past come back. It brings you to light. It brings the light. It brings you back to optimism about your career. It could be a also family, very much a new home, living situation, family, which also may involve a collaborative working venture. What else for Libra here? You could suddenly become known or known from your work, that whatever you do. If you have Cancer over your 10th house, maybe you're in construction, you're building things, you're making houses, maybe something you built or house sells and is really well liked. And so now you get other people wanting those designs. Or your mother could pass, just so it's a possibility, if that's that's kind of, you're going to see that already building. But there could be inheritance, there could be a wife getting pregnant, or also a career that more is nurturing, you're happier in, is calmer, you feel at home in this career. And also security for career. Some could find their true career and find security for the long term here, through something you lost, you failed at, it comes back, you can do it again, and this time it's successful and very auspicious.
Sounds really nice. I like that for Libras. We have the saguaro cactus flower for them. And this, I love this when we're thinking about a potential career path or career change, or how we're showing up in the world. This is an energy of being of service without expecting anything in return. So that's like one side of the coin. And then the other side of the coin is bringing in a divine masculine type of energy, where you're able to problem solve, or feel a sense of maybe independence in some way. It dissolves any misaligned or disharmonious energies that might be blocking you from stepping onto a destined career path, that maybe there was something that wasn't quite right. There was something that was maybe your intention was more money-based versus a nice balance of the money and the service, that really gives you an opportunity to step onto that stage for yourself in a different way. And then the other thing about the saguaro cactus, is it blooms in the desert, and it flowers only after 100 years will it grow an arm, and flowers after 50. So 50 years, that cactus stands there without a flower. And for an arm to grow, it takes 100. Like, I'm sure you've seen the cactus, with their like,
right.
So this is a I don't know, it's like an iconic symbol. It's like, look at me. And there's likely been some work and some efforting that have taken place to get you where you are right now. So saguaro cactus for Libra.
Yeah, so that would be Libra. That's air energy. Libras are writers. They start writing projects, creative self-expression,
Yeah.
Ventures. Libra coming out of themselves and expressing creative expression of their brilliance, because they tend to be very brilliant. Air people, mind, intellectuals. All right.
Nice.
Now we're at
Oh, sorry. I was just going to, just popped over to the chat. I guess
okay,
Mark
yep.
took off, but Jackie, who was who has Virgo in her chart, she said that that did resonate with her. Deep surrender and letting go of old family traumas. Yeah, that's a big one, I think, for a lot of us, is that old stuff.
Yep.
Letting
Yeah.
go,
Yes.
letting
Yes.
go.
Healing ancestral wounding. That's right. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, Scorpio.
In your ninth house, so it's an awakening energy of now, let's say you travel abroad and you find home, and you travel and you find home, or you come home again, because that's a traveling house. So there's sort of like discovering where your home is and traveling, going there. Or I would say a return to feeling in the light again in general, just coming out of a slump, just in general, feeling free of pain, or free of I'm seeing 111, seeing like clearing of some sort of, like, this is good luck, actually. Some sort of good luck comes your way. So Scorpio feel better about things again, better about life again, better. They start to have some sort of optimistic outlook about their future again. There's hope. This is definitely very abundant. So some sort of abundant situation comes in, and again, that it's a spiritual house. It's the house of the guru, which is the seeker of being of good to the planet, or good to the humanity, or improving life for humanity, quality of living. So it's sort of um like a sort of awakening to where they can be nurturers, healers, and serve in their dharma. So they're going to have a lot of Scorpios are medicine people. They're sort of medicine. And so it's sort of like your dharma house, because this is the full moon in your house of dharma. So you become very clear on how you're supposed to nurture your purpose, your calling of an empathic healer, and some sort of um because the ninth house is also like championing people on, and cheering people on. So it's kind of like bringing people up and out of their darkness. Scorpio, helping people transform. So it's like, and this is good luck. So you could suddenly get an opportunity to travel, and or write something, because it's also the ninth house of telling a story. Mars is there. So it's like traveling, but it's also the ego breaking. It's also realizing something, that you want to be more empathic and less, you want to be more, shall we say, happy than right. That kind of an energy that brings family and love together. So you let go of being sure about what you think about everything, or something, or people not liking something that you believe in the family, but you let it go so the family can be close. You put political differences aside, or something like that, so that you can all sort of be a family and not be in separation with each other. And this is auspicious again, so there could be very good luck coming in some in it depends on your chart, but that's a very good luck full moon for sure in the house of luck.
Yay, I'm happy to hear
Yay
that.
on that. Yes.
That is fantastic. So we have the euphrasia for Scorpio, and this activates your intuition, and the message is be decisive. So you were talking about, maybe letting go of something you're holding on to. So, and I think it could be one of those things where Scorpios might go deep into their shadow work, or go deep into something and like really stay
Mars
there
retrograde. Yeah.
yeah, like stay there too long, and instead just like, it's time to, we saw it, let it go. Not let it hinder you from developing a deeper relationship with a family member, for instance.
Right.
It's also a beautiful reminder of trusting yourself. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. And the ability to clearly see and act upon opportunities without hesitation. So this is like, it's like a sweet flower with like, it has a little like zest, or a little like zip to it, to me. So it's just a reminder, if you do have an opportunity, you don't need to go deep into the work of it. Maybe it's just follow the energy of the moment, and maybe act upon that. And it could lead you to maybe some healing around family, or to a new home, or to something that would be beneficial for your ancestry too. Like, so many different options there, but euphrasia for Scorpio.
Yeah, that does look like out of the dark and into the light, doesn't it? For
It is.
Scorpio.
It's bright and cheerful.
Back into the light. That's what it literally, this is called back to the good. The literally, the little translation of this nakshatra is literally good again.
Oh,
Make
good
things
again.
good again.
Nice.
That was my studies. Okay.
Sag.
Yeah. Sagittarius. My Lakshmi in my chart, in my astrology chart, in my Vedic is activated. Lakshmi is how you activate success, and wealth is in deep research.
For you,
Yeah.
deep research.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
I
deep,
get really into it. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's very much you. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hold
Sag
up the card?
Sagittarius,
There we
thanks.
go.
Yep, Sagittarius. So this is going to hit your eighth house. So wow. So yes, so watch out, Saggy risings, emotional fears, triggered paranoid triggered fears come up, emotional outbursts with family, husband or spouse. But it's going to heal, is going to bring something up that's unresolved, most definitely a fear-based survival fear. Could be about money, could be a debt, an emotional upset about a debt, but then it's resolved, some kind of opportunity comes in. This is a very abundant full moon where home, you could get your value of your property could suddenly be doubled. You get a big inheritance, you get a nice somebody who may owe you money pays you money. That could come in. A debt can show up here and around property, real estate. I know of a rising Sagittarius that is owed money over a real estate property deal that could come through. Also a tax rebate through husband or spouse or you. Home, deciding to build a new home, the money to build a home comes through. um a You could move homes because now you have financial stability coming in, or you know where you want to move and you don't move there because you're afraid of the money, but now you feel like you can. But again, there might be a fear of money coming up that gets resolved. Like it could be something comes in that makes you not afraid of money for a long time. That there could be a real financial windfall in that transit that brings you, because it's making a positive aspect to Uranus. So it's like you could be liberated financially, some sort of windfall financial. You didn't realize you had all this money somewhere, it pops up. An investment, a big boom in an investment that could be very positive there. You have the moon in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. So I'm sorry, the Jupiter. So spouse could suddenly make a big money boom, increase money through spouse. And what else? Jupiter, yeah, Jupiter there in your seventh house. The Pisces, all these planets are piled up in your fourth house. Something happens with real estate, or you've invested in a real estate property or a venture in real estate property. Now all of a sudden money comes in. You haven't made money on something that you've invested in. Now all this money starts coming in around it. You're like, whoa, like invested in a piece of property or real estate. Now you're getting all this rent coming in. Things like that. It's a really nice, by the way, for Sagis.
It does sound really nice.
Yeah.
And if in the process of that, since we are dealing with eighth house, there is a trauma or a transition or a heartache or something that's happening, the bee balm is very soothing. It will soothe anything that might come up that could be keeping you from that feeling of the potential of this full moon.
Yeah.
It activates hope. The message is be still. So there might be this time of really some quiet inner reflection that takes
Yeah,
place.
Jupiter's retrograde, your ruling planet.
So there's some
Yep.
energy there to also be a bit more lighthearted with whatever is coming up, like a little playful. We've got this card looks a little jester like in a way too. So, you might be going through some deep things, but like finding the lightheartedness in that process for you. So the bee balm for Sagittarius. And the
I would
purple.
say that seems like something happens that makes them feel a little optimistic about things. I think that is a very good, happy, good news vibe.
It does. And you can't see it super well with the video here, but it's a really beautiful, like almost
Yeah,
like
and
lilac-y lavender purple, which is really a beautiful divine connection as well.
it's good news. Like it's like Jupiter and Jupiter's in Gemini, so it's information, knowledge, communication with through people, partnerships, things like that, because it's in your seventh house of partnership. Can be
Mhm.
contracted business partnerships, romantic.
Very interesting.
Cool.
All right.
All right, Capricorn.
Capricorn.
You have the sun in your first house, the moon in your seventh, so relationship comes in, or it becomes very clear who your person is. You could end a relationship, you could decide to end a relationship there, or you become very clear on who you're at home with, who your true person is. It is very much a relationship transit full moon for Capricorn. They may move in with a relationship, and now it can be a partnership. It could be family. You move back in with your family. Let's say you're a young, you're in your 20s, you move back in with your family so you can make more money and save money on rent. What else? You are nurturing your relationships. You find a relationship you naturally feel like you can nurture. It's somebody from your past, most likely coming back again. It failed round once. This time it's going to work and really be abundant. Um, what else? You could have an emotional, watch out, Capricorn, for emotional outbursts and aggression. You could have a sudden big outburst and end a relationship through a big fight that night. Sorry. But if it is the wrong relationship, it has to go. That you're not bringing in a relationship with you into this next chapter that isn't right for your whole story. And you're releasing baggage in relationship issues are coming out, and you're clearing shall we say, emotional processing, and either trying to not be emotional in relationships or how to manage the emotions in the relationship, like how to embrace the emotions. You don't have to fix them, just express them. I can be here with you emotionally and connected to you. So learning how to be emotionally available and not sort of um it's like learning how to nurture the relationship and be emotionally present more, working on that. And then improve either a new relationship that is more that you can nurture, that you do truly love, or if you're in that relationship, you learn to truly love and nurture that person the right way to restore it, to kind of it's like these are the, what was it, where did I get these words? Loving, caring, home again from a storm, loving, caring, nurturing, healing a relationship, healing a relationship. Yeah. And then it's home, it's your family, your new family. It's like the new family is your person. And you're letting go of an old family, but you go, no, my new family is my family is this person.
That's really pretty.
Yeah,
Really beautiful.
it is.
Um, I don't know why I said pretty, but it feels like a pretty sentiment, just like a very sweet sentiment. Okay. For Capricorn, we have the red bird of paradise. And this seems so like bam. However, if you look at the flowers a little bit, they're actually very sweet, kind of soft flowers. So there's a lot of like energy behind this, but there's a also like a softness to it. This the red bird of paradise is a very focused type of energy. It's getting it done energy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be task oriented. This could be relating to a relationship, maybe one where you need it brings up the passion or the drive to make this relationship work or this partnership work. It will activate something you might have been avoiding within a relationship dynamic or a partnership. So maybe there's a partnership that you have with someone, or you're looking at a business partnership, but you don't want to talk about one aspect of it. This is going to really highlight the fact that it needs to be talked about. This needs to be looked at. And it also dissolves any distraction or avoidance. So if you're distracted by something, you're avoiding something that relates to a relationship or a partnership, you are likely not going to be able to ignore it now. And this flower is kind of like, look at me. Again, another look at me flower, but it's got a little bit of a different flavor to it.
Yes, when Mars transits the seventh house, you can get in arguments with your spouse, and especially in debilitation, it's just emotional outbursts. So that kind of is an emotional outburst there, but I think there's light cleared because of it. It's an emotional outburst that then brings light to the situation. It's in a storm, at the end of a storm, some sort of upset in a relationship that's resolved and light brought to, you
And
know.
that's even kind of what's being shown here,
Yeah,
with the flowers. It's like there's this lightness around the edges.
yes. It's restored to light.
Yeah,
It's
really
made good again.
nice.
Communication, and maybe through an outburst that then clears the air, that makes the breakthrough, or sets you free from a relationship that's not good for you.
Which is also maybe painful at the time, but good overall.
Yes,
So, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Part two.
Yes. All
All
right.
right.
Aquarius, don't forget the card, Madelaine.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
15 minutes of going back and forth. Hold it there a
I can
little
imagine
longer.
that'd be very frustrating.
Yeah. Okay, so Cancer is in your sixth house, full moon in your sixth house. So wow, great for Aquarius. Some big healing thing comes in, some big, if you're a healing practitioner, for Aquarius, some sort of healing practice, some sort of opportunity comes in to become a healing practitioner, or work, shift, change in a full moon, a job you really love, comes in from the past that you failed at, or it missed or slipped through your fingers, but something comes in and it's in healing, or it's what we do on a day-to-day. It's of high service. And it's very, shall we say, very, it could be that you become a healer and you start becoming that, some sort of a gift or talent that you may have as a healer now becomes an opportunity around that opens up, and you literally start doing it. Like, it's the beginning of that, and it brings you abundance. It's maybe you didn't work before and now it's really going to start working. Then also service to your family, helping your family out. Maybe you start, doing of service to something, grandparent, parent, family member. You start taking care of them, or giving to them, or caring for them, or children, grandchildren. But basically you're putting in a lot of high service towards family, nurturing your family, making sure the family is healthy, or all of that. So yeah, so Aquarius are putting, and this full moon, a lot of work and effort to a home environment. Let's say you're living somewhere, you start fixing it up, you get very, very organized with it, you start taking care of it and organizing it all. Maybe you're going to start renting it out for service or to Airbnb. Or you just get really, really organizing. And this full moon shows you that you have to organize something in your home and family, but then it feels really great and clears the energy in that space so that you can be more abundant. But maybe also an opportunity shows up where you can really be of high service, which really is going to be financially abundant too. So, yeah, plus you've got Saturn in your second house, so you're restructuring your income and how you feed yourself. So, yeah, there you go.
That's okay. So I just popped over to the chat too, because Barb is back.
Yay.
She is Aquarius rising, Libra sun, Sag moon. So perfect
Oh, yeah. Okay.
for
Yeah.
this. She said life direction is changing. So
Yes.
yeah, very much. Now, I think Barb and any other Aquarius that might be tuning in now or later will like the giant spider lily. This is such a fun flower for Aquarius. I mean, this even kind of reminds me of like Aquarian energy, that like just thinking about all these things and like just reaching for the possibilities, and there's lots of ideas. And this is there's a lightness and a lightheartedness to the giant spider lily. It's a joyful, easeful, celebratory sort of flower energetically. And this is what I love. This one here, this one keynote, it illuminates areas of life that might be stagnant or are in need of fresh energy. And so when you're talking about the sixth house of work or health, that to me is such a powerful concept or idea, or something to consider going into this full moon cycle. Is there an area of your life that maybe you could maybe you need to move your body a little bit more. You've been a little too sedentary, or maybe, your daily routine needs to change in some way, or maybe your job is kind of like, meh, but you have a grand idea that could really mix things up and bring a little fresh air, fresh perspective to your workspace too. So the giant spider lily.
I mean, that just says Reiki healing or light healing energy or light energy healing. And,
That's true. It does have a
yeah,
healing energy
yeah,
vibe to it.
like Reiki or light, oh gosh, there's other ones I
The
can't think.
light language, light
Yeah,
language.
yeah, and
Yeah,
modality. So yeah, working with the light energy.
that's perfect for Aquarius.
Yes, Aquarius, great.
Yeah, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yes. That
Okay.
that would be interesting if I think of Barb and I know her life a little bit, but not to say I'm not going to say anything, but I'm just saying it does, I think, work for
Fit,
Barb.
fit,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, let's see if she has
she's
any.
agreement.
Uh, no comment yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'll come back later. Okay, Pisces.
Pisces, I'll leave it up a little longer. Pisces has wow, you guys are going to have so many planets in your first house. It's insane. You're going to have let me do weeks here for a minute. I'm going to share the chart just to show everybody. Oh, wow. Look at how many planets are going to be in Pisces here. Watch. Sharing the chart. Look at that. Saturn, Venus, Neptune, the nodes.
Wow.
That's saying.
Lots of activity.
Yeah. So for Pisces, this is going to hit in your fifth house of friendships, co-collaborative projects, friends that are really home. You could get pregnant. This is the house of entrepreneurial ventures, creative projects, standing on a stage, being on performer. A really auspicious thing that didn't work in the past now comes back and works out, and it's a new friendship or a return of a friendship. It can be a relationship if you're single. It can be a relationship coming back from the past. If that's a friend that you got into a runner chaser dynamic with and they're coming back. Something is good again through friendships. It's a very happy, joy, good time. It's back to having good times again, Pisces. Yay, I really want that for my son. It's back to the light, back to good times, back to for Pisces. And it's through some sort of celebration with friends and getting together with a good group of friends, having fun, a party, a good time. What else? Creative projects, entrepreneurial venture comes in that feels very right, very at home, but also home, a friend could give you a home to live in. Or you're just like, I mean, really, it's sort of a creative nurturing, some sort of a creative adventure that's about relationships, home and family, that nurtures relationships, home and family, creative project that does that. Um, it's a creative project that heals society or that restores people back to some sort of the light again. Could be around relationships. So yeah.
Funny you mentioned
I
relationships
know. I was
because we
thinking that.
have the rhododendron for Pisces, and this can strengthen all kinds of relationships where you feel valued and loved, which I just love that. This also has a little bit of a motherly love energy. So we're talking about the Cancer full moon, so that very much connects. It has a feeling of comfort and love and protection. The message is to be kind to yourself. I think that Pisces can be really hard on themselves sometimes. To be kind to yourself. It activates compassion, maybe for you and for others. And there's a feeling of equanimity. So the head and the heart are feeling in tune with each other. There's a synergy there. So, oh, the rhododendron for Pisces.
I've loved how all these cards have been very spiritual and very light and very ethereal and pastel-y. you know,
Most
which,
of them, but
yeah,
even the ones that haven't been have had, there's a
um,
softness to them in some way,
yeah,
you know, like, or
right,
it's, yeah, like whatever the sign was, like it needed a little extra oomph, like pay
yeah,
attention to this. So,
yeah.
yeah, some really,
And that's that purple color is very abundant and very auspicious color. Violet or purple is Jupiter, which is really rich.
yeah, it's just, yeah, really, really delightful, um, flowers. I feel
Yeah,
like the energetics, um, you know, some signs may be feeling this in a way that feels very sweet, and some signs might be feeling this with a little more excavation that's required. And it's all perfect.
yeah,
It's all good. So,
yeah.
any final words, Madelaine, that you'd like to share about
Yeah,
the?
we're in limbo land right now, but that's going to basically probably see that shift and change this week. Mercury's going to move into Capricorn. We're going to have this full moon in Cancer. So our limbo land, that in between phase is starting to pull out. This is kind of it. We're starting to see these new eras beginning, the shift of our life starting to really happen. So we're just preparing for a whole chapter complete change of cycles that we're not going to see. And this is a whole new cycle for the rest of our lives. This big new chapter, like, for, you know, big new time, like new era that we are now entering. So
Yeah, opening of a brand new book.
yep, yep.
Yeah. Speaking of book, I want to share with everyone really quickly. I'm going to post something a little bit later, but I finally got the hard copy of
Oh, wow,
my book. It's
that's so
very
nice.
exciting.
I love the cover.
Yes, so thank you. Yeah, so if anyone is interested in learning more about We
Good
to Me, A
for
Story
you.
of Love, Loss, and Liberation by yours truly.
It's very, very good. I'm very proud of you. You did it. Good job.
You.
It's full moon, Cancer, full moon. Did we have an 11th house transit for you at all in any of your signs?
Mm.
Anyway,
I don't know this minute.
can't remember.
Yeah. Like my
Yes.
brain is still a little mushy,
Yeah.
but if anyone's interested in learning more about it, we2me.love. And then Madelaine and I have not talked about this yet, but we will likely be a little off day-wise for our next cosmic chat because I will be traveling, and that totally lines up with the ninth house that Madelaine
Yeah.
was talking about earlier. So stay tuned to social media and we'll let you know when our next cosmic chat will be. It'll be sometime that during that week, but we have to talk about when. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. We loved having you and your comments and, you know, being part of this,
Likies, likies.
yes, part of this cosmic chat with us. We love having you here. Yes, we love the comments,
Yep.
subscribe, share, all the good stuff. And we will see you again in a couple weeks-ish. So
Sounds
bye for
good.
now.
Bye.